soft drinks, bubbly or hard liquor? Which gets you more turned up for the wedding reception after party? Join TiTi Oshodi, drinks vendor and CEO of the Nook Cafe and Bar, as she shows us how to get the party started without having to break the bank. All the inside information here on Wedding on a Budget.
Hi, my name is Oiza Olayebi. I am a professional model and I'm an event staffing agent. Absolutely boring. I mean, alcohol is meant to make the event lively, right? It's supposed to be all bubbly and stuff. So I don't understand why there won't be any alcohol at a wedding. No. So alcohol, what is that alcohol? One word, very, very boring.
It's gonna be boring because I love alcohol. But I don't get drunk, but I love alcohol. I drink responsibly, so I think there should be a room for alcohol.
Alcohol keeps the party like moving and going. Not like people getting drunk, but at least we need some alcohol to be happy.
Why is there a market, a drinks market in the wedding industry? I think it goes without saying, why is there a food market in the wedding industry? Because it's called food and beverages for a reason. So you have food, you're definitely going to have drinks. Now, what sort of drinks would be the question? And that's why the socioeconomic background, the age, the level of exposure, and the taste, preferential taste of the client informs the sort of drinks that there's also the culture, because there's some clients who would have non-alcoholic drinks because of their religion, both Christian and Muslim. And there are also some who would say from a particular time to this time, do not serve alcoholic until, their sensibilities are not to be insulted, So we cannot underestimate, neither can we overemphasize the need for drinks in a wedding. It's absolutely important. Even if it's just soft drink and water, a drink is important.
My name is Crossed. I'm Crossed Images by name. I'm a photographer. Do I take cocktails at the weddings or wine? I prefer me to take cocktails. You understand? I like the mixture of the alcohol in it and stuff like that. You understand? Normal vibes.
Do I drink cocktails at wedding? No, cocktails aren't really my thing because most of them are usually very, very sweet. They usually have all these sugar preservatives in them. So mostly for weddings, I just stick to Hennessy and, brown liquor. Yeah, let's get the party started.
Drinks for my wedding, let's say like 4 million. 4 million, I guess 4 million will go a long way. Yeah.
In Lagos, wedding has turned to carnival. So if it's in Lagos, even though I don't have it, maybe 5 million.
So how do you have a cost-effective wedding with all of the gamut of drinks, right? I would say that, you can. From a project management perspective, if you must have water, you must have soft drink, you must have a little bit of alcohol if you have preference for alcohol. Now, you can eat your cake and have it by having cocktails. The cocktails not only provide the effigy that you need and the colors that you need for that wedding, but it also helps to space out. Instead of having to put a bottle of Hennessy or a bottle of cognac or a bottle of vodka on that table, you can spread the use of that vodka in the cocktail drink. So you have a cocktail which inherently contains maybe a juice, a liqueur, and a soft drink, or, whatever it is. But you have a little bit of everything, nicely colored, with a fine taste, and you're still, spiked up with alcohol.
My name is Maka and I'm a singer. If I'm definitely looking for a vendor for drinks, definitely has to, I have to look at the pricing and what kind of drinks. I honestly don't know what goes into planning weddings, but if I'm getting somebody who is going to handle drinks, definitely pricing has to come into play.
What I think about weddings that have no alcohol, well, the main thing is this: it's a wedding. People are getting together in holy matrimony. You know, that's the main thing. If they want to get together that day without alcohol, fine by them. But for me personally, because I care about the couple, I'll be there. But I know I want some alcohol. Yeah.
A budget for drinks at my wedding? Oh my God, it depends on my husband. And I want a rich one.
I find as an event planner that one of the line items that is being struck out when you're going on a budget is the cocktail. But because, you know, a lot of us do not understand that you can actually have the cocktails and then have alcohol with the cocktails. So you're not, I think because in Nigeria we're pushed to seeing the bottles of liquor, you know, and they have to be placed on the table. And I would like to talk about that, you know, it's important that as a professional, we can advise our clients on how to be able to space their service, okay? For instance, when at a wedding, upon arrival from the church or from the mosque or from the registry, your guests are dehydrated. And the first thing they want to do when they're sitting down is have something to drink. At that point, you can serve water and soft drink and juice just before the food arrives. And then, you know, maybe an hour or two later, when food is being served, you serve what can help digestion of food. And we usually like to suggest wine. We'll suggest cocktails. And so not only for the ambience or for the aesthetics of the table, but also for the ease of digestion, you know, of the food. You have cocktails mixed a little with alcohol. You have the wine, the red wine, the white wine, you know. So you will see that the trajectory for alcohol consumption is on the rise. So they start with a non-alcoholic and then they get into a little bit of alcohol. And then when you're getting into the after party area where everybody wants to lose and, you know, go haywire or overboard or excitement has hit the roof, then you can start to introduce the liquor and the alcohol. Personally, from the Nook Cafe and Bar, what we do is when we're getting to that stage where we're finding that people are getting more hyped up and there's a tendency for a tipsiness and a little bit of, you know, drunken, unruly behavior, we then infuse coffee, tea, and water to just douse down because, you know, definitely the chemicals, there's that chemical imbalance and there's a high tendency for an unruly behavior or harassment, you know, so it's our way of trying to protect our employees and our staff from being harassed or unnecessarily disturbed.
I'm in Kiru, I'm a tax consultant. How much do I budget for drinks at my wedding? It depends on the guest size. For a wedding of about 500, I'll do at most $1 million. At most $1 million. That's it.
Cocktails, champagne, weddings. I think cocktails work earlier in the wedding, then afterwards, wine, and then you have strong drink.
Weddings with alcohol is like saying bread without butter, man. How would you have a wedding without alcohol? It's not possible, though. Alcohol is the life of the party. It's what makes the party fun. It's what makes people come for your party, basically. Food and alcohol, sure, yeah, it's necessary.
What's a good drinks budget? That's a function of the number of guests, for sure. So let's say you have 200 to 300 guests. For me, the approach starts from the soft drinks, the water. You have 300 guests. Your size of water is ×2 of the number of guests in terms of quantity. Double it for water. Soft drink, 75%. Malt drink, 40 to 45% of that. Cocktails, 50%. Plan for 50% of it. I usually advise my customers to, because if we're going to purchase the liquor for you, we'll purchase liquor and then purchase some of the drinks and then have them infused into production for the after party, because you're getting the hard liquor for that period. But if you're doing beer, you do beer for about 50 to 60% of it, depending, like I said again, on the demography of your guests. Except your client says, we're very heavy drinkers. And we've had briefs like that have, they come and say, well, my friends are very heavy drinkers. We're hard liquor people. And so when we're going into the liquor, we usually do, because a carton of any liquor is usually 12. So we're catering for about 300 people, and we see that the ratio of men to women is higher, okay? We will be doing close to about four cartons of liquor, if they're hard liquor people. Otherwise, we will do champagne, we will do the soft liquor like the Irish cream, and some of the shandies, I don't want to call out brands, but the sort of flavors.
Hi guys, my name is Iffy. I'm also known as Ivata. I'm a TV presenter, aspiring DJ, a model, and I do a bit of PRE. Funny enough, 2 weeks ago I attended my first wedding in Nigeria. It was amazing. There was no alcohol, and guess who caught the bouquet?
When choosing a drinks vendor, what do I look out for? The price, obviously. And then the variety and the extras. You have some that offer servers. Everywhere looks so posh. I would rather go with such people.
That's the problem. See, considering taste of my guests or my taste, that's a little my guests are my people. We are people for a reason. You get we are friends for a reason. So I guess my taste is your taste. I don't know. We get high on the same shit.
So for the champagne, I always suggest that there's as much reduction on just placing the bottles on the table rather than just space-timing the serving of the champagne as well, if you know what I mean. You fill out the glasses with the champagne and you spread them all out, and then you closely watch consumption and refill. That way you're not putting too much pressure on the consumption, and you're also reducing the chances of wastage. Because I find a lot of times that when you place the bottles there, it's either someone is there hugging the bottle to himself or his friends, or they've had so much that they won't finish that bottle, ultimately wasting it. So it's important that we know the consumption pattern of the people at a table. If you find a table filled with more women than men, then you're more likely to go down with champagne and the soft and Irish cream or shandy, than hard liquor. But you find a lot of men who would rather do like the Hennessy or the Remy, you know. And so those, when there's a specific request for that, then you can place a bottle because, you know, they know that, you know, it's a small community at the table there. And do you understand? There was an event we had about 2 weeks ago, and there were just about 100 of them. And the number of drinks was like double all through. And I said clearly that it was way too much. And they didn't think, they said, oh, they drink a lot of, they're very good, high drinkers and all of that. We eventually had to take those drinks back, which is another service that we provide at the Nook, take them back and sell and refund the money to them, you know. So it's usually best to project because it's always, it's been tried and tested with us. We know how it goes and how the rate at which it goes, even for the weddings that go into the long after party weddings. There's a different landscape of drinks that is designed for that, you know. So
personally for me, the drinks budget has to be pretty high. I haven't selected a particular amount, but you know, it has to be something high because the friends I have are people that actually drink a lot, so I have to put them into consideration. So yeah.
When I want to consider a drink vendor, first of all, I'll consider the fact that I like to see their variety. First of all, I would also like to know how soon they deliver. And you know, and their staff strengths, because of course you won't only just bring the drinks, your staff will also serve the drinks as well, you know, and also their cleanliness, because we all like some hygiene in people's work ethics. Yeah.
When you have them XOs and you have them crystals at weddings, you definitely know that this wedding didn't come cheap. So it makes the wedding just have that vibe, because if you're going to spend that much to buy drinks, you should be ready to go all out to make sure that the wedding is a big party.
How do we space time with service just to achieve cost effectiveness? Let's assume, and we will be time specific now, let's assume that the wedding reception starts at 2 o'clock, okay? So the guests arrive at 2 o'clock. At that time, like I said again, they're tired, they're dehydrated, and they're hungry. So everybody knows that you can roll out with the water, the soft drink, and juice, you know. And you can also have that nicely placed, nicely positioned on the trays, you know, different colors, looks, the colors are there, they're popping. We've got different flavors and colors of juice right now, you know, in the market. So they're coming in and you can have them sitting down with their drinks and everything. Now, into an hour from 2 p.m., food is rolled out. At that time, you can serve cocktail drinks. Okay? So the water and all of the soft drinks are all there, and the malt drinks. So the cocktail drinks they come in and they start to complement the soft drinks and the water and the malt that is rolling out as well. Some people prefer the non-alcoholic cocktails, which is the mocktails, and some prefer the cocktails, which is the one that have the liquor in them. That can go on and on till about 4 or 5 o'clock.
Do I consider my taste or my guest taste? I consider both, because I might like some flavors and they might not like that. So I would want them to be placed with whatever they want to take or to have. You understand? And I can as well take my own personal taste too that I want. It's fine too.
You have to put all together, because different people with different perspective, you just cannot give them what they don't drink. It's your wedding, so you want to make yourself happy. I think the best thing in wedding is just to do you, make yourself happy. It's all about you at that day. So if you have friends and family, they would understand that it's all about you, and really nobody's going to shade you.
The wedding will be actually all about the guest, not you, because you're trying to, you'd have to entertain your guest. Well, that's it.
I need to help clients to understand that because you're having cocktails and because it's the first thing that they rule out, it's more of a disservice. to them. Because if you get a good planner and a cocktail person who understands what he or she is doing, you can actually work with the soft drinks. The cocktails are made with the soft drinks that you're serving. The juice that you're serving is from the cocktails. You're just adding a little bit of sweetener, syrups, and liquor in the case of a cocktail. But for a mocktail, you're just adding syrups with soft drinks and juice and ice. Okay, so you're still not losing, you're still getting value for it. And you're having more variety, because the more variety you have in your drink landscape, the more exciting, the more engaging, the more valuable, the more effigy, for the wedding. So you can have that going on till about 5, and then you find that a lot of times people who come for the reception, who have started off from the wedding, when they arrive from the church or from the Nikai, they want to, all they desire at that point is anything to go into their mouth. So you can serve all that you want. You can serve within the context of, spacing out, and then it just grows into the cocktails. Then, by that time, they're tired. They want to go. They've had a full day. So about 5, 6. So you will have found that there's a reduction in the number of guests. At that time, you can roll out the drinks. You can roll out the hard liquor, the premium ones, the expensive ones, because there are fewer people that you can cover with it. And, they can have as much as they want within the capacity of what you have in the bar. So, you optimize the satisfaction of the client, and you've also helped the client to effectively manage the cost.
So, there you have it. Hiring the right drinks vendor to strategize and manage drink consumption is the best way to have a liquor-filled event without breaking the bank. We've got you covered on all the tips and tricks of organizing the perfect and affordable wedding. You've been watching Wedding on a Budget.